Hello, good yo-yo people. Before we start the review today, I wanted to go ahead and do the giveaway. I know what I'm going to give away, but I'm not going to let you know. I'm going to keep it a surprise. Expect a good yo-yo, though. Something from my collection I haven't played for a while that needs a new home. Maybe I'll throw some other swag in there. Maybe some spool thread and a few other things. So anyways, I put it in a YouTube random picker here. Is going to raffle off all this. 48 comments. And so here we go. It's going to choose one by random. Let's see. All right. Keith Smith is the winner here. Keith Smith. And this is his comment. I did read all these, by the way. You guys are awesome. And it's pretty great to be in the community with you guys, to hear all your different stories and why you yo-yo. So anyways, here's what he says. Cool video. It's cool how so many of our stories are the same. I played a lot as a kid, set it down through college and seminary. Hey, yeah, I'm a pastor too. That's cool. And marriage and 2 kids, and have picked it up within the last 2 years. Funny my first expensive yo-yo early 2000s was a Henry's Viper 2. Dude, we are like kindred spirits, Keith Smith. So congratulations, Keith. Go ahead and email me. You'll see my email in the description box. And you email me your information, and I'll send that some stuff out to you. All right? Congratulations. And now on to the review. Hello, good yo-yo people. I'm Nate, and this is Let's Talk Yo-Yo. Today, I am reviewing the 2018 Banshee by G Squared YoYos. All right, this is the in the hand section. What does that actually feel like in the hand before I throw it? And you'll see in the description box the full specs for the 2018 Banshee, as well as information about my sponsor, which is one of them is G Squared. And on here is some spool thread, my other sponsor, as well as information about myself and everywhere you can find me online. So make sure you check that out. All right, so the 18 Banshee. So if you're not familiar with the Banshee and you're maybe new to yo-yoing, or you're not really familiar with G Squared YoYos so much, this is the Banshee. This is the traditional standard Banshee. This is one of my favorite yo-yos of all time. No joke. Whenever I am chasing a trick that I'm having trouble with, or I'm struggling with, landing something that I know that I need a yo-yo that is going to be a little more forgiving, that's going to be more performance-based, that is going to give the spin times and stability and all that I need, the Banshee is something I go to. And this Banshee here, this particular one, has been played a lot. And so I'm very familiar with the Banshee. And so this is the traditional one. This is the standard one that initially came out, and a much-loved yo-yo from the community. Anytime the Banshee goes live, just like most anything else that Jake and G Squared YoYos puts out, it sells out immediately. And so they're very sought after. They have really good resale value on buy-sell trade, so you know they're good, and they're a great yo-yo. So the 2018 Banshee. Now, I haven't had a major conversation with Jake about this, but why even put out a 2018 version if the regular one was so good? Well, the reality is you can always make something better. You can always mess with something, and or you could always offer something a little bit slightly different. And so I feel like that's what the 2018 Banshee does. The biggest difference that you can see between the two, the regular one, the original one, and the 18, is the line that's in the cup. So if you see there, you'll see that there is a machine line in the cup. And that's the biggest difference. That's how you can tell them visually apart if you're looking at different ones. All the other differences are quite subtle. And in the hand, I mean, when you put them side by side, you have the same width, the same diameter. There doesn't seem to be too much difference on paper. But the more you hold them, the more you begin to see some slight differences. For instance, the 2018 compared to the original is a little less angular and opens up a little bit more, and you can see even a little bit visually, if you pay really close attention, you can kind of see where a little bit more weight has been pushed to the rims. And so I believe the overall point of that is to make it just a little bit more stable, enough that hopefully we can notice it in the hand section. But other than that, there's not a crazy amount of difference. The finish on this is still the Diamond Blast, which is fantastic. Feels good in the hand. It's really good on grinds. It's going to give you long grind times as well. And so there's no doubt that the 18 is going to be just as amazing, if not just a little bit more amazing. It's like that kid, you know, that you knew in high school maybe, who didn't just have a 4.0, but took all the AP classes and had like a 4.3 or something ridiculous like that, and you're like, overachiever. I feel like the 2018 Banshee is going to be a lot like that. This kid already, the original one, is getting A's and A pluses. This kid over here, 2018, he's taking AP classes and he's acing them, and he's like prepping for college. I don't know. The analogy's falling apart, but you know what I'm saying. It's just like, if you can make something better, I believe Jake did. And so I think that's the point. The reality is you can always make something a little bit better or offer something that's a little bit different. I think the reality is that the original one is just really, really good, and it's not going to be replaced by an 18. For some people, you need both of them because they're both really good. I'm not getting rid of either one of these. And so, all right, I think that's enough for in the hand section. Let's go ahead and see and play it on the string. We'll compare them a little bit and see how the 18 plays compared to the original. So I'm throwing the original one right now. I actually never did a review of the standard Banshee, and so this is kind of my mini review. I am certain you can find other reviews online from other YouTubers of the Banshee review here. I'm pretty sure that Throws and Brews probably has one, and so go check that out. So if you want to see a review on the Banshee, the traditional one, I'm sure, I am certain somebody has one. All right, so that's the standard. Really good yo-yo. You know, you're talking, it has a nice zip to it, but not super, anyways, it's just a good yo-yo. By far, my favorite, you know, performance-based yo-yo from G Squared YoYos. Certainly, the original Banshee is still one of the top monometals for performance-based yo-yos out there. Solid performer, really good competition-driven yo-yo, something that's also a lot of fun as well. So that's the original, and so since I just played that, I'll have sort of a feel for a little bit of the difference right away. And I'm curious if you have both of these, the original and the 18, what differences you see as well. Right away, it does have a different feel in the string, where the original, it feels a little bit lighter. So the 18 has a little bit more of a heft to it than the original. Now, it's not necessarily heavier like on specs, but as far as how the weight is pushed out, it is not quite of a lighter feel to it as the original does. Just the weight feels really good. It's not cumbersome by any means, so you're still going to be able to push it through tricks. It's light enough to still kind of go through some faster tricks, but it's also a nice laid back throw as well. I really, really like the 18 Banshee. I think the subtle differences in the play make it that it's certainly worth picking up both, and gives it enough nuance that you're like, okay, they're both really good yo-yos. It does have a little bit more stability, nothing crazy. It's not super noticeable, but it does have a little bit more stability, and a little bit, not really much difference in the hand. I talked about how the original was a little more angular. I don't really feel too much of a difference on a catch. that it's that noticeable. I think the biggest difference was not so much the feel in the hand, but that it pushed a little bit more weight to the rims by making it not so angular and kind of beefing it out a little bit in the gap. Again, not a ton of difference, enough that it's going to be like, oh my goodness, that's super noticeable, but it does feel a little different. It's still going to be really good for horizontal type tricks where it keeps the plane for the yo-yo really well. Let's go ahead and throw a trick. All right, that's a fun new trick I'm just messing around with the last couple days. Threw it on my Instagram, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, you should. It's pretty awesome. So my final thoughts on the 2018 Banshee. Still awesome. It's still the Banshee. It has that same feel that the original Banshee has in many ways. It has that same, you can look at the two yo-yos and you're like, oh, okay, this is still a Banshee. But there are some updates. I wouldn't necessarily call them improvements. They're just differences. It's more of going to be a little bit more of a preference. There are things I really like about the original. There are things I really like about the 18. There's really no complaints I have about the 18. It just has a different feel on the string. And in fact, I would say that I would probably cling to the 18 a little bit more than I would to the original now that I have both of them and I've kind of compared them. This one has a little bit more of a solid feel on the string than the original does. It's certainly, I keep pointing over there. It's over there. Let me grab it. So, should you get one? Yes, they're amazing. I would be stupid to not say that. I mean, they are my sponsor. But honestly, I don't know anyone who's ever picked up the Banshee and has not really instantly liked it. There's a reason why they sell out. And there's a reason why it has such a following and why so many people who do own one own multiple ones. And so it's a great yo-yo. The 18 is no exception. It definitely changed it up enough that gives you something that you can own the original and the new one and not feel like it's replacing the old one, but gives it enough of a difference and nuance that you're going to want both of them. 18s are really good. It's a solid win for G Squared. Good job, boss. And anyways, that's my review of the 2018 Banshee. And as usual, good day and good yo-yo.